Have you ever felt like you are two people at once? The person you were and the person you have become. It's a feeling many of us encounter at some point, when growth, new places, new cultures, or deeper awareness quietly widen the space between who we used to be and who we are now. You might start to feel slightly out of place in environments where your old self once felt completely at ease, or you may find yourself repeating the same mistakes, but this time with an awareness that's loud enough to remind you you know better. That quiet tension between who you were rooted in and who you are grown into is exactly what Frida Kahlo captures in the Two Fridas. At some point, a threshold is crossed. You can no longer fully return to who you once were, but you also can't simply bury that version of yourself and build a clean, untouched identity in its place. Perhaps the real work isn't choosing between these two selves, but learning how to carry them both, to live with the tension between them without trying to erase it. Like in the Two Fridas, these two selves sit side by side, belonging to the same person, inseparable parts of a single life. Frida Kahlo, the feminist artist we know for her distinctive style and powerful self-portraits, painted this work during her divorce from her great love, Diego Rivera. This large-scale oil painting depicts two Fridas seated side by side, holding hands against a cloudy sky. Although Kahlo wrote in her diary that the painting was inspired by a memory of an imaginary childhood friend, art historians have suggested that the work reflects how Kahlo saw herself as self composed of two conflicting identities. On one side sits an unmistakably European Frida, shaped by the legacy of her German father and by travel. On the other, a Frida dressed in traditional Tehuana clothing, paying homage to her Mexican roots inherited from her mother. Both figures display exposed anatomical hearts on their chests. The Frida on the right has a heart that appears healthy and intact. One of her blood vessels runs down her left arm and ends in the miniature portrait of Rivera she holds in her left hand. Another vessel extends beyond her shoulders, physically linking the two figures together. The Frida on the left, however, has a wounded heart, its outer layer stripped away, revealing its inner anatomy. The lace of her dress seems to unravel around it, exposing her left breast. A blood vessel descends from the heart onto her lap, where Frida clamps its shots with a surgical instrument. Blood spills from the severed end, pooling into the folds of her white embroidered dress. This painting seems to unravel both the pain of the separation and the way that separation brought Frida into contact with different sides of herself. Although symbolic elements in the work are often associated with surrealism, Kahlo did not consider herself a surrealist. "I never painted dreams," she said. "I painted my own reality." Throughout her life, marked by the physical and emotional suffering, Frida used painting as a way to visually process and articulate these experiences. Painted in 1939, The Two Fridas is one of Kahlo's largest and most iconic works. For many years, it remained her most widely known painting outside of Mexico. According to what Kahlo once shared with a friend, the Frida dressed in the Tehuana costume, the one with the intact heart, represents the Frida that Rivera loved, while the Frida in the white dress, whose heart appears broken, stands for the Frida that Rivera rejected. Perhaps Diego was only able to accept and love a single aspect of Frida, while Frida herself contains two selves or maybe even more. She was never a figure that could be reduced to a single color. Much like her clothing, Frida was a spectrum, layered, varied, and vividly complex. This quality was already visible at an early age. When Frida was about 17, in family photographs taken by her father, Guillermo Kahlo, she surprised everyone. Instead of wearing the demure femininity expected of her, she posed in a sharply tailored, masculine suit, meeting the camera with a bold, unflinching gaze. Even then, she was consciously defying social expectations and challenging the viewer's assumptions about gender. In these early gestures, Frida made it clear that identity could never be confined to a single form. This unconventional nature inevitably shaped Frida's marriage as well. Her relationship with Diego Rivera was far from ordinary. Their marriage unfolded almost like an open relationship, with both partners having other lovers. Frida also had relationship with women. Frida was never someone who could be neatly categorized or reduced to a single type. What made her Frida was pricelessly the convergence of many different elements. She embraced herself in this layered, multifaceted way and carried that authentic nature into her paintings. As we look at this work and watch the two women holding hands, we too, as viewers, are invited to recognize the different parts within ourselves. Even those that seem contradictory, shaped by multiple cultures, marked by traits that appear inconsistent. Perhaps the point is not to hide these parts or smooth them away, but like Kahlo, to acknowledge them and claim them as they are. Who knows, maybe it is pricelessly these elements that make us more spicy, more sophisticated, and more authentic human. What do you think? For more art content, don't forget to subscribe this channel and share your opinions in the comments.